What's up, everybody? Welcome back. So along this weekend, there has been a ton of college football news, and we have to get into it. Before we do, as always, if you're new to the channel, if you're returning and you haven't already, please feel free to like and subscribe to the channel. We do constant football content, constant sport content, everything from high school football recruiting, college football news, film analysis, highlight reactions, NFL, you name it, we do it, and we like to have fun. So with all that being said, let's jump into some of the biggest news over the weekend, and I'd like to start with some high school football recruiting because a player that I've been talking about for quite a while committed this weekend, and that is Jason Marshall, five-star cornerback out of Florida. Now, those of you who have seen on this channel me talk about Jason Marshall before, I was pretty convinced that it was down to Florida and Alabama. Now, I know a lot of the conventional wisdom was more Florida, Miami, but I never really saw Miami being able to make up enough ground on Florida first half. And then secondly, whenever Saban and Bama start recruiting, specifically DBs, especially in the past 10 years of college football, it's very hard to turn down Bama for Miami if you're a DB. Not saying it's impossible, right? Miami is a storied program, one of the better ones in college football. But that being said, in the current landscape, it's hard to turn down Alabama. Now, obviously, Miami, a lot of that changes when you add Leonard Taylor. We did a highlight reaction on Leonard Taylor, and I think he's phenomenal. I comped him to Quinnen Williams, and I think he'll be on the field early. His hand fighting and the way he moves his hands with his feet is already super elite. I mean, he is technically very skilled to go along with incredibly explosive athleticism. That's going to be a kid that we need to remember. But Jason Marshall ended up committing to Florida. Not super surprising, right? The Gators had a good season last year. They're primed to be one of the better teams in the SEC. That being said, though, the SEC is so stacked this year that one of the better teams in the SEC could finish fourth in the SEC, and they'd still be a great team nationally. So I think Florida got a huge addition to their 2021 class. Jason Marshall is now there. But don't sleep on Alabama still. Nick Saban has got a habit of going into your bag and stealing your candy while you're looking away. And then he takes your candy and shows it off to everybody else. And look, Saban and them really wanted Marshall. Now, let's move on from Marshall, Florida, Miami to a little bit of Alabama news. And with the news of Jason Marshall committing to Florida over Miami, over Alabama, where does Alabama turn now? Remember, they only have one corner DB in this class right now at Devontae Smith, but this is going to be a class that has a lot of need at the DB position. This year alone, there's going to be a lot of new faces, and the Tide are truly blessed that Patrick Surtain is there to be able to lend some experience to this group, along with Jordan Battle getting playing time last year, Jordan Battle being a freshman last year who played incredibly well. I'm very excited for his future. But there were some guys behind them that have had a lot of chatter around them, but because of injuries. And the one I want to talk about is Jalen Armour-Davis that's there. He's had a lot of talk about how good he is. Injuries have kind of derailed him. But now that you know, with all probability, Surtain is probably going to the draft at the end of this season. God willing, there is one. And you know that you don't have much experience. Last year they pulled in Brian Branch, who personally I believe there's not a position in the secondary that kid can't play. He's incredible. But where do you go from here, Bama? You need to get somebody, and luckily in your state is Jaquincy McKinstry. You cannot lose McKinstry to an LSU, to an Auburn. Specifically, if, Bama, you're wanting to kind of go for the throat, that LSU was a one-year wonder. If you lose out on a guy like McKinstry, it's not the end of the world, but it's the message and the ripple effects, right? People miss out on 5 stars every day, but if you need that position, and that guy is in your backyard, you need to go get him, and I think Bama has to go and try and grab McKinstry this year. I really don't know what choice they have. That's about it for this video. Hope y'all are staying safe. Hope y'all are having a good start to your week. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and hit that bell notification to let you know anytime I upload. We do a lot of film analysis, news, journalistic pieces. We like to have fun, and we'd love to have you around. See ya.